Namaskar, good afternoon. Welcome to SNU Reel and you are watching Unscripted. This is Shoykot Mujumdar, Assistant Professor, Journalism and Mass Communication Department. You know that who are watching Unscripted regularly that every week we are coming up with at least 1 or 2 episodes of Unscripted with our guests either from our university and from guests from outside also. Today we have 2 distinguished guests. Let me introduce them first. We have with us Dr. Shubir Dhar, Director, School of Languages and Mentor and Advisor of English Department. Welcome, sir, to our program. Sure. And we also have with us Dr. Probal Raichaudhuri, Head, Department of English, Sister Nivedita University. Welcome, sir. So this is a privilege for us to have Dr. Dhar and Dr. Raichaudhuri with us, and we will discuss about, of course, the School of Languages, and mainly we will focus on the Department of English, how we are doing, what are the courses we are offering, what are the career prospects, everything regarding the question you have in your mind. You can ask also. You know that we are going Facebook Live, so you can ask your question. I will convey these questions to Dr. Dhar and Dr. Raichaudhuri, and you can get your answers. So to start with, sir, I have a basic question in my mind, that is study of English. So what is the purpose of studying English, and what are the utility of this course? If say for instance, many people say that this English study of English is not needed. This has been a long controversy. So I'm starting with that controversy, sir.
Right. Well, you see, English is now the international language.
Yes.
It's the mode of communication. There is no running away from English. And in fact, if you look at the history of the last 1 century, then English has percolated in every nook and corner of the world. And if you take the case of India, because of our colonial past, English has come to influence every aspect of our life. And the amount of English engagement with English in India presently is enormous, is one of the highest in the world. And when you are capable of using a language like English properly and powerfully, you gain a mastery, a command over not only a thought process but also modes of communication, and this makes you very attractive in not only in the pursuit of academic excellence but in the job market also. And this legacy of free communication is very spearheaded by the study of English. So,
you see, what really happens is that when you study English, you're not only studying a language.
Yes.
You're really studying a culture. You're really studying a civilization of many, many civilizations.
Right. So.
And let us not forget, you see, English is no longer a British language.
Yes.
English is an Indian language. English is an Australian language. English is a Canadian language. English is a African language, and so on. So
Actually, it has become an international language.
exactly. And you see, there was a time in which if you didn't speak, say, BBC English, which was called RP, which is received pronunciation, you were looked down upon. Now that has radically changed in the past 40 or 50 years. Because nowadays, you see, we talk about the new English literatures.
Yes.
And if you really think of it, all the best writing, all the prizes are being won by Indians who write in English.
English, yes.
And so you see, the whole point of studying English is you are really entering into a field of energy, if you want, in which you can become energized and you can be creative, you can be analytic, you can be discursive, what have you.
Yes.
So you see, the power of English is behind you if you study English.
Right, absolutely, sir.
And let's not forget, studying English also is, as my other speaker, Professor Raichaudhuri, pointed out, English is really kind of a gateway into the world.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
nowadays, what with the digital revolution, the most preferred language in the world is English.
Yes.
Whether you send off a WhatsApp message, whether you send off an email, once again, English is a language by which you communicate to people the world over. And today it's a global village, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
as a global village, you see, as a member of a global village or as a denizen of a global village, you have to communicate with other people. Earlier on, you could get by only knowing your local language.
Hmm.
Now the world has changed.
Yes. Of
And
course.
unless you have English, you have no access to the enormous other which is there in the world.
Yes.
And English is the medium by which you can communicate.
And no access to our the store of knowledges that is also that also become inaccessible without the knowledge of English.
Absolutely. For example, if you want to study, say, Russian literature,
Yes.
if you don't know Russian, it's impossible to do that. Or even if you look at very locally, I mean, if I want to study, say, Tamil literature or Kannada literature, I don't know Tamil, I don't know Kannada, so I can't access that.
Yes,
But
exactly.
in translation, all the wealth of the civilization, all the wealth of this culture is available to me. And the translation, obviously, most easily available is
Yes,
English.
English, yes.
So that is why English is so vitally important
Exactly.
nowadays.
Yes. So very naturally, what Dr. Dhar and what Dr. Rajchandri has explained, that English is very, I should say, it's an essential language to learn. And Sister Nivedita University is offering a number of courses in English and other languages too. So I will come one by one. First, Dr. Rajchandri, if you can please explain that. What are the courses offered by SNU?
Yeah, we have a undergraduate program in English, BA Honors in English, and we also have a postgraduate program, Master of Arts MA in English. Besides the undergrad and postgrad program, we also have a full-fledged PhD program running in the department, and we are in the process of taking in new PhD scholars every year. And we are a growing and happening department. We are a flourishing department. We are 3 years old. Our first batch is just going out,
Yes.
and new faces are coming in. So you see, it's a happening place.
And the thing is, what is? Can you please explain what is unique about the courses offered by SNU in English? I mean, because all other institutions are also offering courses in English. So, what is unique about Sister Nivedita University?
The first thing that is unique about our university is the name and the legacy of the great icon of modern India, whose heritage we are carrying forward. Now, secondly, in the English department, we have a process of upgrading our syllabi very regularly. Okay, and when we upgrade our syllabi, we keep in mind the latest trends that are happening in the subject area, in the domain area, and also the demands of the market. So these three things are integrated in our syllabi, and that makes our syllabi not only very modern, but it makes it lucrative also. So this is the USP, and besides that, we have a fully operational choice-based credit system, where students do not just get to study the core papers from the parent department, that they have a choice of taking minor disciplines from various other departments, even from departments like mathematics, physics. They have this whole lot of generic electives. They can take from psychology, they can take from law. And besides that, we also have courses in creativity, in creative writing, and the like, literature review and the like.
So, along with cross-disciplinary studies, these creative studies are also there for the students.
Absolutely.
And this is how these creative elements, what you were offering in your department, how this will help the students for their career prospects also.
See, one thing is, once you study a global language like English, it leads you to a plethora of opportunities, a lot of opportunities, and you can branch out with later. Now, thing is, when you get hands-on training on a creative writing course, what happens is your command over the language increases a lot. Secondly, when you are in a creative course and you take part in a performance, you become more active. Okay, you increase, your inner strength.
Yes.
you don't feel afraid, you don't feel shy to speak about.
Yes.
Okay, so this you know helps the students a lot. Sir, would you like to add on?
Well, I just want to add one or two small things to this.
Yes, yes, sir.
As Dr. Roy Chaudhary rightly pointed out, this is what we do in SNU English Department. We have a term for that. We call it DESNU,
Yes.
Department of English, Sister Nivedita University.
Yes.
That's our brand.
Yes.
And one of the strongest points of this brand is that, you know, this is a department which believes in hand holding the students.
Yes.
That is, you know, we take it for granted that when a fresh young student is coming to us, he or she is obviously not at the peak of his or her intellectual ability and so on.
Potentials.
So what we really do is to, you know, train them, help them flourish to become much better than what they were when they first entered.
Yes.
You see, in a philosophical sense, this is what Rabindranath Tagore had talked about education. That education should be a joy,
Yes.
not a pain.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that is what we focus on all the time.
And so you actually, along with teaching, you were the guiding force for the students.
Exactly. And we guide them in not only creative writing, as Professor Roy Chaudhary was saying, but also in other aspects. For example, you know, putting on performances, not only offline, but even online performances, all of which helps them to develop intellectually, develop emotionally, and most importantly, become more self-confident about themselves.
Yes. And it also helps them to flourish with their creativities. So along with sir, you have just pointed out one thing, that you guide them to be successful. So when this question of success comes, the obvious question follows, and most of the students, especially the aspiring students, must be having the question in their mind, that what are the career prospects after studying English language and literature? If you can elaborate that, sir.
Well, first of all, you see the world is changing.
Yes.
And the hiring world is changing very fast. There was a time if you had a STEM degree, you know, studies in the technical fields, for example, that was good enough to get you a job.
Yes.
Nowadays, that's no longer so, you know, important. One of the reasons, of course, is artificial intelligence. Because you see, many of these technical jobs will not exist once AI comes into being.
Yes.
And so what is it that the employers are looking for now? What they're looking for are people who can analyze data, who can read and comprehend and understand, who can react in appropriate ways to the tasks in front of them. And in a sense, this is what studying literature, English literature, really trains the students in. They read texts, they read novels, they read poems, they read drama, and yet you see this is a kind of a training, intellectual training if you want, by which they can process information and then apply it.
Yes.
And this is very important because these are the skills that are going to be, are already becoming and already have become, and are going to be all the more important in the future years. So you see, studying English is the right choice.
Yes, actually, the newer avenues are opening up, and sir, I suppose there was gone are those days when it was thought that studying English language and literature means a student will go for a career in academics only. He will be teaching in schools or colleges or any other institutions. I suppose these days are gone, and as sir has said that
Absolutely.
newer avenues are opening up. If you can, sir.
Yeah, see, obviously for many English students pursuing English literature and language studies, for them, for many students, academics still remain the first love.
Yes.
And many aspire to become school teachers, many aspire to go into colleges or universities, and quite a few of them aspire for higher studies. Some join research institutes, but besides that, there is a lot of opportunities, as I was mentioning, in the technical domain.
Yes.
Technical companies cannot function without good communicators, without good data interpreters, analyzers. So here comes the role of English graduates and postgraduates. Many English technical companies have domains of technical writing, content development, office communication. Then English students find a lot of avenues in mass communication, journalism,
yes. I was just
advertising
about to say,
media,
yes.
advertising media in the various creative domains. They find a lot of avenues today. So, all that one needs to do is to develop a good command over the language, a good verbal ability, reasoning ability, and I think the world outside is just waiting
Yes.
to absorb them.
Yes. In fact, you just mentioned, I was about to mention, because our department, we have in our discipline in media, we find a lot of students are coming with English grad or post-grad background, because since they have, as sir has mentioned, they have a good command over the language, so they become very successful in their creative contents and digital,
Absolutely.
and nowadays digital contents are there. So one thing comes into my mind, sir. I'm asking both of you.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to-
yeah, yeah, sure.
I think there's another avenue. You have this domain of translations today.
Yes, yes.
That is one avenue. Then you have a lot of people are working in the legal fraternity today, and our higher judiciary is all about good English
Yes.
and impeccable English. So English students naturally have an edge, not just, I'm not talking of the discipline of becoming a lawyer, but other than the lawyer, in the law industry, there is a lot of work where English students find a lot of avenues also today.
Yes, this is another big aspect. And in fact, many nowadays, as sir is mentioning, in many technical companies, many even software companies, they produce digital contents, and they also need, I suppose, the English students to write their contents, because and digital content writer is a very, very good option in
Yes,
career.
Precisely.
Precisely.
So studying English means lot of avenues, as all of us were mentioning about, and even in management. Management positions, people with good command over English is always welcome.
Absolutely. People with good command over English are really sought after, and that's why you see so many English graduates making it to very high positions in the HR domain.
Yes. And sir, next, what I would like to ask you, that how do you make your students industry ready for all these? These are a lot of avenues you were mentioning about. So how do you make them industry ready? In fact,
Well, one thing is, our curriculum is essentially designed in a way that they get a good grip over the language. They have a bird's eye view of the literatures, I'm using it in the plural sense, literatures in English, and literatures in English from various time zones and geographical locations all over the world, as much as we can cover in 3 years or 2 years, as the case is with the undergrad and the postgrad programs. Besides this, what is going to happen now in very short time is internship opportunities with multinational software giants, where our students will go and have hands-on. It will be remote internship opportunities online. We'll have hands-on training on content designing, technical writing, official communication. This added advantage provided by SNU will give our students an edge which will make them quite unique.
Yes, exactly. Sir, till now we were discussing about mostly the English department and all about the English studies. Sir, can you please elaborate us on our languages, the total faculty of languages in SNU?
Yes, certainly. You see, first of all, SNU is a very special place because anyone who enters SNU, whether it's a technical field, a humanities field, a social sciences field, whatever, everyone has the opportunity of learning at least one foreign language.
Yes.
Because you see, we have a system by which we teach students any one of 4 languages. Right at the moment, we teach either German or French or Spanish or Japanese. Now, these are important because you see, suppose you are a technical student. Now, a technical student passes out from this university and he or she wants to go abroad for further higher studies.
Right.
Now you see, if you want to go to Germany, and Germany is a very attractive location, because you see tuition fees in Germany are subsidized by the state. And so you have a distinct edge there.
Yes.
You don't have to fight for scholarships. You don't have to spend money from your own pocket. It's all there ready and waiting for you. But there's one basic requirement, that is knowledge of the German language.
Yes.
And that is what we are catering to. Or if you want to go to Japan, for example, once again, you have to know Japanese.
Right.
Without that, you will not be allowed successful entry into any of the work avenues there. And so we are teaching Japanese. So too with French, because French is a world language, not only in France, in Canada, for example, and there's a very flourishing immigration market in Canada. And they welcome many, many, many Indians. And once again, so if you know French, once again, you have a special niche, let us say, or a special ability to flourish there. So you see, these are the 4 languages that we teach immediately to our students, all our students. But there's another dimension.
Yes.
And that is, you see, for people who are outside SNU or people in SNU who want to gain further higher skills in these languages, we have 6 different languages on offer. These are certificate courses and diploma courses.
Okay.
For the certificate and diploma courses, we have 6 languages as suggested, as I mentioned. We have Chinese and Japanese, the 2 Oriental languages, so-called Oriental languages. We have French, Spanish, German, and Spanish. Sorry, I mentioned Spanish. So yeah, these are the 6 languages that we have. And you see, the point with these 6 languages, these certificate courses, is that they lead up to a SNU diploma.
Right.
So if you study these, you're going to gain a mastery over these languages. You get the diploma, which is going to help you once again much, much more in your future career life.
And among these languages, we have mentioned the languages which are being taught here in SNU. So what is the trend? Which language is most popular among the students? Are they have any special interest for any particular language, or all the languages are equally popular?
Well, the least popular language, quite frankly, is Japanese.
Yes.
Because of a perception that Japanese is a difficult language. It is a difficult language because the basic vocabulary of Japanese is about 3,000 characters.
Oh,
so learning is tough.
yes.
But once again, you see, because so few people study Japanese, it gives the edge to whoever studies Japanese and learns the language.
Right.
The most popular, of course, are German and Spanish, with French a very close second.
Yes, because these 3 languages, especially Spanish and French, as far as I know, is the most popular languages globally.
Absolutely.
So students also prefer these languages, and
But could I just interrupt for a minute?
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
another language that we have, which is a new language completely. It's called Esperanto. Esperanto is an artificial language, not a natural language.
Okay.
And you see, in India, there is no university that teaches Esperanto. It's
Okay.
only in SNU that we have a certificate course and a diploma course in the Esperanto language.
Okay. So
So
can you
what's-
please elaborate on this a few?
Of course.
the language.
Well, first of all, Esperanto is a language that was invented sometime in the late 19th century by a so-called Dr. Esperanto.
Okay.
What he did was combine 2 or 3 different languages, English, German, and parts of French. And this is a language in which you see the grammar is perfectly scientific. And incidentally, Esperanto is one of the United Nations languages.
Okay. So how do the students will benefit learning this language? What will be the extra benefit they will
Well,
achieve?
there are two different avenues I would suggest. Number
Yes.
one, you see, because Esperanto is a language that very few people know, it would give an advantage to the student learning Esperanto, because if he writes in his CV
Mhm.
that I have knowledge of Esperanto, the prospective employer is going to be, is going to take notice of this.
Okay.
Because
that will
everyone
be
is
the
going to-
extra age for him.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you see, it's interesting and fun learning something which is completely unusual, completely new,
Yes. Yes.
which is
absolutely.
why we have this course on offer. And as I said, this is the only university in India which offers Esperanto in a certificate and a diploma course.
Okay.
So this is
That
unique.
is the most unique point of
Exactly.
since SNU is the only institution which is offering this course. I suppose the students who are studying and who will be who are the aspiring students of SNU, it will be you must be interested with this language school, as sir was explaining, because there is something unique which we are offering, and there are the opportunities of different learning different languages which can give you an extra edge when you will be targeting to studying or for higher studies abroad, or might be for your career. Sir, one thing just as I have mentioned about higher studies, so students, what are the trends you are finding? The students are opting for higher studies more, or they are going to choose their careers after graduation or post graduation? What is the
Well, my perception is that, you see, more and more students are really going in for higher studies. Earlier on, maybe 5% or 10% of the students would go in for higher studies. Now, this is a trend that is fast reversing,
okay?
because nowadays it is noticeable that even people from science, technology, and the allied fields, even they are thinking of acquiring higher skills. One reason is, of course, with a basic degree, you really don't have a chance to go far enough.
Okay.
And you have to upskill yourself, upgrade yourself, find out more about what is happening in the area of your specialization before you find a proper place for yourself.
Okay.
Which is a good thing, I think.
Yes, yes. So, and about the career prospects, Dr. Rajudri, you were also mentioned about the career prospects. So, as sir was saying, so regarding career, what are the trends you are finding among students? I mean, are they going for the conventional professions, or that they are opting for newer professions after completing their courses here?
I think it's a 50-50 thing. Many are going for conventional, many are choosing modern professions,
Okay.
or the professions. You see, the pandemic age
Yes.
has also given rise to many digital professions, which I find some of our students have taken up. Even there are students in our outgoing undergraduation batch who have got placed already. And regarding the higher education trend that sir was discussing right now, what I find is, you see, from the undergrad to the postgrad program, it's almost 90 to 95% of the students who are opting for a higher degree. But perhaps after completing the post-graduation, the number of students who are opting or going in for a PhD degree is not that
Yes,
high. It's
yes.
perhaps at best about 50%. But many students are branching out to studying journalism. Many students are branching out for business administration profiles. So the branching out, English is, it's the foundation. It is giving you an opportunity to branch out to many disciplines.
Yes.
And we must understand, take note of this, and appreciate the fact that the world today in 2021 has changed vastly that it was even 5 years back.
Yes. And as you have mentioned, the pandemic, which as we are watching it for the last 1.5 years, so did it have a negative effect on?
Well, it has had a negative effect. One cannot deny that. It has made life dull and restricted to home. But in terms of output, I think it has increased human output, creative output a lot. And the pandemic has also given our department a few unique opportunities. We have been able to, branch out our scope of engagement, academic engagement, scope of studies, and also a scope of creative work. And we have been able to do a few online symposiums, seminars, and what we are regularly doing is an event called Saturday with a Scholar, where
Yes.
we invite a very senior academic and we organize an online lecture on the area of our specialization, so that our students, even all of us, get benefited from hearing to this senior academic. And it becomes every time we do it on a Saturday evening, it becomes an enriching, soul enriching, fulfilling experience.
Yes, that's a great experience for I suppose for you and the students.
Absolutely,
for
absolutely.
Both the sides.
So
Yeah.
these are the good things about the pandemic.
Yes.
The negative things we are all well aware because it has.
Well,
impacted.
together with Saturday with a Scholar, there's a new program that we are going to launch next month, and that's going to be called Literature Talks.
Oh, great. Sir.
You know, literature talks in both the senses.
Acha.
Literature talking and talks on literature.
Talks on literature. Okay.
And this is going to involve our younger faculty.
Okay.
You know, Saturday with a Scholar is senior people, right?
Okay.
And this is the younger people who would come in, and they would be, you know, delivering short, brief talks on very cutting edge areas of our discipline.
Right.
So nothing traditional, nothing established, things which are exciting, new, just around the corner. That is what Literature Talks is going to be about.
So it's a combination of both tradition and the modernization.
Seniority
Yeah.
and young
Yes.
blood.
Yes. So that's a great opportunity for students also. I mean, they would be benefited from these programs. Actually, I suppose you will be agreeing that the students always want something out of the box. Sir, I suppose you will, of course, you will agree this.
Yes, you see, once again, one of the things that we have done in the past and we will do in the future are student seminars.
Yes.
That is, you see, students read papers, there are moderators who are the professors, and we don't sit on judgment, but we, you know, help, encourage, guide in a way to make these young presenters better, both in their perception, in their ability to think, as well as in the ability to deliver in a, you know, stand-up or a speaking mode.
That means it helps them out to enhance their confidence as well as their performance.
Thought process.
Yes.
That is the most important thing. You see, our job is to teach a student how to think.
Yes.
If we can do that, we are 100% successful.
Yes. So, what is the outcome of this seminars? I mean, students, how much they are interested in?
Tremendously interested, because you see, we had a national participation. People from various parts of India, young people, you know, students from various parts of India, they joined it together with students from, I think, about 30 or 40 colleges and universities.
Okay.
So that was, you know, quite a success, and
Yes.
we hope to be repeating this, you know, do it once again later on.
And they can have a platform of their own also in this way.
Absolutely.
So that helps out to create. Bringing out their creativity and bringing out, and I suppose this is a place for the building up their own confidence also.
Absolutely. You see, it's like this, because when a SNU student speaks in a seminar or a webinar in which he can listen to 30 other students from the rest of the country, he can understand where he or she stands. He can understand or get confidence that, yes, I can face an all India audience.
Yes.
And that is our perception.
Yes, and that is a kind of success for them also.
Of course.
Yeah. So this is I suppose the students who are watching this program. I mean, the present students, they are of course a part of the department already, and the aspiring students who are watching this program and the parents. I suppose this is a great opportunity for you to get into the Department of English and Department of Languages here in SNU to get a platform to bring out your creativity, your own platform, as sir was explaining. Along with traditional study, this is a platform where you can have your own creativity, where you can perform with yourself. And sir, I suppose I just remember that I also watched this, that you have some performances on drama also. So that is also another interesting thing. So if you can, sir, elaborate on that also, because many are there who do not know about this. I just remembered about your programs because I was a spectator of that program, which was quite interesting.
Well, once again, you see, the dramatic performances that we have are, number one, absolutely straightforward. Like, for example, we are doing a scene from Shakespeare.
Right.
And we do it, you see, in a very academic way. We follow Shakespeare's words. But we also twist it around a bit to make it more fun, more interesting. That is, you see, we have a core of Shakespeare and then we elaborate on it.
Okay.
That is, maybe modernize it
Mm.
to bring Shakespeare to our own culture.
Mm.
And so you see, what happens is that Shakespeare becomes not only someone who wrote 400 years back, Shakespeare becomes a living presence, one of our own contemporaries. And everyone who gets involved in these begins to see Shakespeare not as something which is very difficult and the language is odd and
Yes,
so and so.
yes, yes.
What they learn is Shakespeare is actually theatre.
Yes.
And so you see, their entry into Shakespeare becomes a matter of tremendous interest to them.
Yes, yes, exactly. Actually, I just remembered before finishing the program, I just remembered this the performances. That is why I asked you the question, because that is also a very interesting thing. I suppose the faculty members also participated, and the students have also can have a taste of what actually Shakespearean literature is. So that is why I just asked you the question. So
Well,
thank
we-
you, sir.
We
Yes,
have a YouTube channel of
Yes.
our department
yes.
where we keep regularly uploading
Oh.
all the recorded versions of our programs, including the Saturday with a Scholar talk.
Great, great.
So we are slowly building up an online archive, if you can
Archive.
call it so,
Yeah.
so that it is available for a much wider audience. Because our Saturday with a Scholar programs are always full,
Right.
and we cannot accommodate all those who wish to join. We have to
Exactly.
leave out many. So for the benefit of those, we try to upload the programs and
That is a great initiative
Yeah.
also. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra, and thank you, Dr. Roth, for being with us in this program. So it was a fabulous discussion, and I suppose the English students and aspiring students will be more interested to join after all this elaboration from our two very distinguished guests today, Dr. Roy Choudhury and Dr. Thor. Thank you once again for being with us in this program, and keep watching Unscripted. Keep watching SNU Reel. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.